Here on the Late Break Show, we're fortunate enough to get access to some fantastic car caves. And in this episode, we're in Nottinghamshire, in the countryside, to meet a guy called Craig, who's given us access to this incredible exotic car collection. But not only that, Craig is a man who's got a lot of exotic stories to go with them. So without further ado, let's crack on with a wonderful episode of Car Caves here on the Late Break Show. Craig, look, this is incredible, absolutely incredible. It's not what I expected when I looked outside the building.
What did you expect?
I don't know, I don't know. I think it's great because it's really quite stealth.
Yeah.
It looks like an old coach house or something.
Yeah, well, it's better being in here so you don't know exactly what's in it until you get in here.
Yeah. So is this an old building?
So this is a new building, but it was originally a 3-car port lean-to. I don't know what you'd call it. It's a bit like Perspex. Can you remember them?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I've actually got a bit of one at home. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of them, and then we put planning in for a 3-car garage, and they said, no. Spoil the countryside. So we changed it, and we put, well, can we have a big building for classic car storage? And I said, absolutely.
Seriously?
Seriously, yeah, that's how it went. So they went, oh, right, okay. So the builder came back to me and said, well, we can actually decrease the size. Do you want us to build the 3-car garage? I was like, absolutely not. Build what we said. So, many years later, here we are.
So it looks old, but it's not.
No,
it's in keeping with the areas it was.
And I had to put obviously underfloor heating in, and obviously don't want to get the cars.
Oh,
cold.
look! I mean, it's warm.
It's warm.
It's beautiful flooring.
Yeah, and then we put in the mirrors, and it just went on.
Okay, cars. Before we start delving into all of this lot here, how did the whole car thing begin?
Oh, it's bikes, it's speed. So,
okay.
Speed was always the thing, like from the days of getting on a little motocross bike across the field and then, pinching my mum's car when I was 14. She had a BMW 325 i.
Yes, lovely
car.
car.
Really good. It was tail happy, and I did have some close calls on it. And then and I used to basically steal it, go and do a loop where we used to live, put it back, but clever, put sticks where the wheels were, so put it straight in the same position.
Yeah.
And then if she was out, I'd waft the tea towel over the bonnet, try and get rid of the heat. So that's really like where the
mischief.
Yeah, the mischief and the speed started. And then my granddad had a scooter, and I used to whip round on that, and it was a Camino 50, so you could pedal it.
A Honda Camino?
Yeah, used to pedal it, outside the school bus because I was cool.
Yeah.
Let it wheelie, and then I could sit and do a wheelie, and then so that's really where the bike started. And then my first car was a Cavalier. I bought it off a travelling person.
Okay.
And it had cement in the boot because it was winter time, and he said you needed cement in the boot. I was like, well, I don't think it was front wheel drive, so it wasn't even grip.
No.
So anyway, I kept that for about 3 months. I got 100 quid. But the next car I wanted was 150. So my mum says, right, here's 50 quid. If you damage your next car, that's it. Game over.
I'm out, yeah.
Done. So I bought a gold Fiesta. I think it was Mark II, X-Reg, I think it was.
X82. Yeah. Mark 1, might have been a late Mark 1, I don't know, I can't remember.
But anyway, it was gold. Got my mates in the car, and there was a humpback bridge. So I thought, I wonder if we can just have a little jump over the humpback bridge. So I took a run up, as you do, because it was, I think, 1.1, so it wasn't going to go fast.
Yeah.
Jumped over, all the windows went through, every single window, the front window, the side windows, the rear window.
The windows?
Yeah, it did all the windows. So you can imagine getting home covered in glass, going, I don't know what's happened, Mum. All the windows have just broke on my car. It was basically the start of doing stupid things, racing motorbikes, sidecars, cars.
So you race for a hobby?
Yeah.
And you still race now?
Still race sidecars now, yeah.
So you have done some cars, have done some
done
bikes?
Motorbike racing, early days, 125, 600s. Then went car racing because I had 2 kids. So I got told to stop car racing.
Yeah.
Bike racing, went car racing. Raced cars, Caterhams, Radicals, Clios, Formula 4. So now I'm sidecars. A couple of weeks got TT. Never done the TT, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, you're doing it in the sidecar?
In the sidecar, yeah.
You're the driver. Do you call it driver or rider on a sidecar?
I think it's driver. Is it?
Well, I mean, what an amazing account with Fiestas with smashed windows, Cavaliers with concrete. First of all, we got to talk about the first car I laid eyes on when we came in. This is the special one. for me anyway, it's just the Diablo is not a car you see at all really out in the wild. And this one is the extra special one, isn't it? This is the SE30.
Yeah, this is the SE30. I think the reason you don't see Diablos anymore is because if you've got one, you tend to think it's that angry. You just leave it in the garage.
You leave it locked away.
Yeah, Raging Bull.
Yeah.
It is definitely the Raging Bull. But actually, what a car it is. It was the equivalent of the F40.
Yeah, yeah. This was a golden era.
This was the era.
For supercars. 1994, I think this was launched. So it's 30th anniversary of Lambo. Bit lighter, bit more powerful.
Some magnesium and titanium bits.
Yeah, there are. There's some amazing. I mean, look.
Retro. And I think retro's back. Like retro, hot hatches have been.
Yeah.
I think now retro supercars is coming back.
Do you? I mean, you said you've owned a lot of cars.
I've owned a lot of cars.
You have a high
driven a
turnover
lot of cars.
of
Yeah, I've driven a lot and I've owned a lot, and there are many different variations I probably haven't driven.
Yeah. Because I've seen there's cars actually not on this film that are out here, not in the shed.
Yeah, Defender bought a new. I had the old Defender.
Yeah.
I think it was an Adventure, the last limited edition one E-Type.
Yeah.
Again, bought it for, I can't remember what it was, 50 grand. Kept it 2 years, sold it for 50 grand. Like it's crazy. So
wow.
I bought Zeus the dog. He liked it, but it was a big space and I didn't have a cage.
Okay.
So for Christmas, I bought him the new one.
So the dog owns the Defender?
Yeah. I don't know if I put Zeus
so
on the
logbook.
logbook.
It's a Christmas present for the dog?
So yes, I gave him it Christmas Day. So
that's brilliant.
I actually did a little
That's
video.
a hell of a dog car, Craig.
It's a great dog car.
That is a good dog car.
It's a good dog car.
So
it's got a cage and it's comfy for me to drive.
Yeah.
And I think it's good. The new Defender's a good bit of kit.
Yeah. You live on a farm.
Yeah.
It's a farm vehicle.
Yeah, perfect.
Also outside, 911 Turbo S in black.
So
992 Weapon.
Absolutely. I've not had it long. I bought a GT4 to do some laps of the TT course.
Yeah.
And I had it for 3 hours. It was lovely, real good spec GT4. I just basically opened the door, parked in a car park space, in a space, opened the door an inch, talking to my son, and some woman came and took my door off.
What?
So yeah, just ripped the door straight out of my hand, and that was it. So I owned it for 3 hours. I don't have some dramas in cars.
Seriously?
Yeah, so that was that one gone, but because it just ripped it off.
3 hours?
3 hours. Yeah, I did 18 miles in 3 hours.
Rolls Cullinan out there as well.
Yeah.
So is that a daily driver or
Just sometimes when I want to be comfy.
Yeah. Because I was going to say you talked about speed, so this is this is a speed shed.
This is a speed garage. This is hardcore. Like there isn't really anything. Well, there's definitely nothing in here that's comfy. Everything's loud, carbon.
Yeah.
And fairly sort of abusive to your brain.
Yeah.
So at some point you've got to say, I've got to relax and put the radio on and listen.
The Lambo, then, we are actually, before we carry on in the rest of the shed here, we are going to take this one out for a drive because I've never been in one, certainly never been in an SE30 before. And Craig said, well, let's go out in it. So we will. And this is what happened.
Now we're cooking. Retro feeler. Back to the 90s. How are you feeling in it?
Do you know, it's so strokeable.
Oh, the seatbelts.
I keep reaching this way.
I know. It's left hooker.
Totally forgot. So this is exciting for me, Craig. I've never been in a Diablo. Definitely never been in an SE30.
Well, today's the day.
Man.
So today's the day. So obviously you've got no room whatsoever. Your head's up here on the thing.
Got the V12 cooking away at the back there.
It's
60.4 miles an hour in first.
You obviously got the old dog leg gear back here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a beast to drive. Like, I mean, second we were doing 3,000 revs, 40 mile an hour. I mean, what is going on?
So this is a 207 mile an hour car.
Yeah.
525 horse, 428 pounds-feet.
Hold on, I need to open the window.
Oh yeah, I'll be there all day.
That's it. I'm going for me 1 inch.
That's it. So this was part of the SE30 package, I think.
You got no window. Well, they say you got a window.
You got a micro window.
You wouldn't want to be at a McDonald's drive-through, would you? I mean, well,
Wow. Gosh. It's so, isn't it? So physical.
It's just...
Look at the digital. The climate.
Once you don't adjust my roll bar.
Oh yeah, the adjustable.
Yeah.
Have you played around with that?
No, I don't even know what it does.
Well, you can. I think it's. Yeah, you can adjust the sort of the squat and stuff like that of the roll.
I think we'll leave it in the middle.
And that's leave it in the middle for the time being.
So obviously
we're still
fifth, fourth.
Gosh.
I think that's fifth. So
oh, that'll be like such a high gear.
Well, it just hasn't got anything left. It's like nothing.
And white back dials, which was a special edition thing.
I mean, what a noise! You can't.
I was going to say I've got this micro window down.
I haven't touched the brakes yet. I better try them.
Yeah, make sure they work. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. I mean, it's actually not. Yeah, you wouldn't want to drive it at 5,000 miles, but it's not as bad as you think. It's just you want to be gentle with it. And
yeah. Well, it's an old car now.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I'm just. It feels like
the old carbon.
I was going to say that
old carbon.
That is old carbon. Everywhere, sills, door skins,
and just
Yours, what's yours like? Oh, this one's
mine's more of like a fluff. Yours is more like. Was it? Did you say it's like your mum's settee?
Mine, or the ears of a spaniel. It feels like the ear of a spaniel.
Yeah.
The dash feels like it's miles away.
Yeah.
Like another postcode.
I know.
Because you're like you feel like you're in a chaise longue.
It's. I mean, and you probably can't see, but my feet are so close together. And they're like, you know. Luckily, I've been practicing flexibility for the sidecar. Else I don't think I'd get in.
I was going to say that would worry me. The pedal box being all tight.
Yeah. I've swapped my trainers, so I've actually moved
slimmer ones
on. Yeah. Just to get my feet in.
Yeah. And I think all of them were this colour suede inside. All Diablos or SE30s. And then this old Lamborghini logo on the steering wheel. That's from the very first Lambo.
Yeah.
The GT350.
Is it?
Yeah, that's an earlier logo.
Right.
So that's different to the bull on the boot. And probably it's got the bulls there as well, though.
Do these actually work? Oh, it's actually quite cool.
Yeah, it's actually worked. So you bought this car unseen.
Yeah, I bought
You just saw a picture, read about it, and went, I fancy that.
Yeah, do you know what the colour?
Yeah.
And Jamiroquai, I don't know if you can remember, I think it was Cosmic Girl?
Yes.
What a song. That was in the day.
It was a great album.
With a car full of girls with Cosmic Girl on it. Yeah, it all worked. So I looked at it and I thought, yeah, I remember. And I think there's a bit of a famous story, JK, where he broke the windscreen and he actually, in the video, he has got no windscreen in the car. So you can actually see his hair flapping.
It's so loud.
I miss PDK.
Gosh.
So yeah, it's got an epic soundtrack.
That is and it's all back there in that tiny little letterbox.
Yeah, you can want it. It's not a McDonald's drive-through car, and it's definitely not a shopper.
No. I love the magnesium, that gold finish on the air intakes.
Yeah.
So they got weight out of it with those wheels that we were looking at, those magnesium wheels. A lot of carbon, a lot of magnesium in the engine bay.
I don't know if the stereo is aftermarket. I think maybe it began life in New Zealand.
Oh, did it?
I think so, yeah. I look back at the history, and that could be the stereo.
Yeah, that might be, because it does have air conditioning.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like that way.
I'm going to start putting my window...
climate control. We've got the fan on now.
Do you know what? I reckon you could get to 200 quicker than I could put this window on. It's just...
Is that geared?
Yeah. Yeah. And such a tapered footwell.
Yeah.
Yours is the same, I'm sure. But a very, very practical, a lot of storage inside the door.
Practical?
Yeah.
That's a word I'd never thought you'd use in here.
Yeah, this is special.
It is
Seeing
lovely.
one of these on the road is an event. You know, like this.
Well, you don't ever see. I've never seen another one.
I've never seen another one.
Do you want to know?
I couldn't get insurance on this car, unfortunately, despite the fact he loved me to drive it. But He has an exceptionally long drive.
So we're gonna,
I might drive it on the drive.
We're going to do an up the drive.
Drive on the drive. For me, this is an era of supercars that was particularly extreme. Jag XJ220, McLaren F1, of course, the Bugatti EB110, Ferrari F40 and the F50 around that time.
It was about middle, wasn't it?
You said you were surprised at how well it drove.
It drives nice. I mean, it's not shaking you to bits.
No, it's not.
Low
actually.
revs, it's got so much torque. Low revs, it's easy.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite happy. Traffic it's because of the tall first gear with the traffic. But really,
Cooling is always a challenge on a
you've
Lambo.
got to get some air through it, and us.
Yeah. But it's interesting that you were saying before that you want a car to challenge you a bit.
Yeah.
Or you want to maybe...
I want to know I've driven that car.
You want to tame it, you need to tame it.
I want to know it. I've been in a car and I've had to proper think about driving it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's almost like a skill set. You know, and you've conquered one car, so let's get the next one. And what can you find more hardcore to drive?
Yeah.
You know,
what's the most sort of like analog car that you've owned? Is it this?
Probably this, yeah, because it's like the Ferrari stuff's, you know, most of it's paddle shift.
Yeah.
I've not had a manual Ferrari. I had a 355 once.
Yeah.
But out and out hardcore, and that's why probably this is my favourite.
Yeah. It's actually got good mirrors.
Yeah.
They're actually useful, aren't they?
Yeah, I can see my fuel cap.
That's it.
To be fair, the rear mirror's all right. I mean, you've got a few slats, but you can actually see what's going on behind.
Yeah. Actually, talking of those slats, I think they were different on the SE30 to mimic the Miura.
Right.
As part of the sort of anniversary package.
Yeah, they did put slats. They did an actual even more crazy one called a Jota.
Yes, I've never seen one.
Here we go. First.
Okay.
Gentle on the...
Oh.
I'm still in second.
Wow. That response is incredible.
Third.
That's still impressive. Still really impressive. Okay, so other way for the belt.
Lefty.
Remembered that this
righty,
time.
lefty. So first, obviously.
Right. So, okay. Oh my gosh, it's all what's going on?
So first.
Yeah. The throttle's like wedged.
Give it a bit of revs. Because it's got obviously the world's first, longest,
That's
tallest.
right. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
You might as well just leave it.
Yeah, really heavy throttle.
Yeah.
And very slim.
Just very delicate,
Yeah.
but nasty.
And the steering's actually much lighter than I was expecting. I mean, yeah. But also, I'm aware of the fact the track is a lot wider at the back than the front.
Yeah, it gives it one.
I'm always a bit
it's
nervous.
a bit wedged version, isn't
A bit
it?
like the early Porsche turbos, where it feels like the bum is twice as wide as the front. Is this a lockdown boredom purchase?
Yeah, 100%. I think half my garage is locked down boredom.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now, Aston.
Yes.
The only Aston you have.
The only one. Driven a lot.
Driven a lot.
Yeah, I've had DBS.
Have you?
Yeah, I've had a few Astons.
But this one's...
This one I've kept.
Okay. Why? What is it? It's a GT8, isn't it?
It's a GT8.
Yeah.
It's one of, I think, 150. Although I did get unlucky and get 13, obviously.
Did you?
Yeah, number 13, and it broke down on the way home. But other than that, no offence, Aston. But you fixed it. Just the sound, the noise. That's the only reason it's in here. It lacks supercar pace.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they are, the 500, 480 horsepower. But the noise makes up for everything else.
The noise is what it's
all
all
about.
about.
Is unbelievable.
They are. I like the look of these. I do think they look pretty.
I think you'll never get another. You know, is it Euro 6 now? Regulation with the exhaust.
Yeah.
And the sound police are now out apparently.
Yeah. Well.
I don't think they'll ever make anything as loud as that ever again. It's
it's
ridiculous.
So did you buy this new?
Bought this new, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've had it 5 years.
And it broke down the day you collected it?
Yeah, I did. Was it 18 miles or 80? What, it was nothing. Basically, we just went into limp mode.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
And then Aston caught the front skirts. So they actually hit the front, as they drove it into their workshop.
Oh, gosh.
They scuffed the carbon, and that took a year to sort out. But
Oh,
they sorted it.
So again, there's a lot of carbon on a GT8.
There's a lot of carbon.
Yeah, and those accents.
And it's got the halo kit. And
Yeah.
it's a good.
So this is all about the sound.
This is one for the sound.
Okay.
If I haven't got a headache, and I've got some time, I'd use this one.
What's your? I forgot to ask when we first kicked this off. What was your first sort of like exotic car? Because has this been going on a long time?
No, well, yes and no. Like I've gone through a lot of cars, but I haven't started to keep cars
Yeah.
until probably the last few years.
Okay.
The first Ferrari I bought was a 599.
Nice. That's one of my favourites.
GT.
B. GTO.
No, not GTO. It was GT. Just the normal one, the 599.
I
But it
love
had the
that car.
HGTE kit on.
I think the 599.
Yeah, in red. You know, that everyone says you've got to have a red Ferrari.
Yeah.
So that was probably the first. I had a GTR prior to that. So really exotic was the 599. I actually made money.
Did you?
Yeah. So I've always tried to just, not lose money, just stay the same.
But it has to be exciting.
But it's got to be exciting. I don't want any boring car.
So limited edition to what you say? I think 150. That was 150 worldwide.
Yeah, this is 150th theme here.
There is, isn't there? So now we move on to two Ferraris that are sort of like brothers, sisters, if you like. Challenge Stradale, special car. Scuderia, special car.
Yeah.
So again,
Couldn't decide.
Did you buy them at the same time?
Bought them at the same time. Just didn't know which one to buy.
Really?
I couldn't make my mind up. No. And it was it lockdown when I got them? Probably the first one. You sit there, don't you? It's hard. It's hard times. You think, which way?
Yeah.
I can't drive one because. So I just said, look, just deliver them both, and I'll make my mind up.
Really?
So then I ended up,
from a dealer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Redline, yeah.
He loves you.
He loves Rob. When you watch this, I'll give you a shout.
Wow.
So I got both. And first of all, I took the Challenge Stradale.
Yeah.
That was my first one I drove. I thought,
yeah.
Wow. Again, noise. Like, you can't believe the noise. Gearbox is savage. Like, it's proper. Breaking
it's aggressive.
Yeah. And I drove it. I loved it. I thought, what a car. That can't be any better. So really, I didn't drive that for probably 6 months. I neglected it. I just didn't get.
You just got to grips
I just
with
thought
this.
that is just. I don't think that's going to be any good.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what I had, but it broke down, or did I crash something? I can't remember. Something had gone wrong. So I
You've
thought.
had so many cars, you can't remember how many cars he's had. That's what I think. You just
And
suddenly
there's
went,
always-
I had an Escort Cosworth at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, did well. Yeah, that was a good car. Yeah. So I then thought, well, you know what? I'll try this Scud. I'll get it out. It's done 4,000 miles, and I used it for 2 weeks, and then I sort of fell in love with that. Yeah. And I think both of them, different cars, different sort of eras. Bit like you say, it's a bit sisterish.
Yeah.
But different drives altogether. That's got a faster gearbox.
Yeah.
It's got the switches and that's
the Manatino.
It's got it all on the steering wheel. That's got absolutely nothing on the steering wheel. So it's sort of old school.
It's a big jump.
Yeah, it's a bit like the Ducati side where they go from the basics to start putting electronics on.
Yeah.
And I think the 430 they just started to add a few little bit of race mode and everything but what a car! What the both.
This was launched in 2007 from memory, developed by Schumacher.
Yeah, it's got Schumacher's signature.
Yeah, and I think it was the first car with the Manatino control on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And I remember the gearbox being like so much faster than anything else.
And if you put it in race, it's just like I think they increased it. Was it 80 milliseconds or something? It's
as quick as a gearbox had got.
And it's actually not that bad in today's terms. You know, like against it's got a bit more delay, but it's still.
Yeah.
And today's terms on the PDK gearboxes that Porsche, they're almost effortless. They're like, whereas that it's
properly punch.
Yeah, it's like someone stood behind you with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
And that again, raw. You've got to drive it. You know you've been in it. And I always gauge stuff. You know, if you bring a Sunday dinner back, and you've got the gravy between your legs. If you struggle to hold the gravy, it's a proper car.
So you do a gravy run
for the dog.
So And this is something you really do?
I'll slam life. I'll give you the pictures. The
Okay.
dog has Sunday dinner.
Okay.
I have to get the dog Sunday dinner. So
This is
I often go
amazing.
to the pub to get the dog Sunday dinner, and I'll take a different car. And if they give me the gravy in the little
In a pot?
like a curry pot sort of,
Yes.
and I put it between my legs. Now
my
if I spill that gravy, or I've got to struggle with the gravy, I've had a good drive.
Because it's an
If I take something that's boring, you might as well just put the gravy in the centre. That's got no cup holder. Anything that's cup holders, it's not a driving car, is it? You've got to have something that's aggressive with no gravy holder.
I think we've just found the ultimate new road test.
Gravy.
If it's a struggle to keep the dog's gravy, which sounds awful, in one place, the car is engaging.
So I had to have the factory stripes as well. Like, I needed them.
Well, I think they work. I mean, certainly the Italian
one,
just looks...
I did have a 4.5 Speciale once.
Did you?
Yeah, that was a good car.
Very good car.
That was really good.
This is aged really well, don't you think?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I think this still looks great.
Yeah.
But I've driven a standard one of these a lot of miles, and I've just still think it's a good
It's
car.
a good modern day supercar. Still pace and still quick.
Yeah.
You know, even like, what we're 12, 13 years old.
Yeah. Before we move on to the fantastic Testarossa at the back there, the 512, what do you do to relax? Don't tell me sidecar race, because I can't believe that's relaxing, judging by all your shoulder and back injuries.
That's a good question. Sleep, probably.
Sleep.
Sleep, yeah.
That's a pretty good remedy.
Well, relax. Well, I've been on a few holidays, but I can't sit still.
Okay.
The last holiday I went and swam with sharks.
Did you?
Yeah, but I fell in. It's another.
What?
So the guy, they're feeding them dead fish to get the sharks. It's proper sharks.
Okay.
Right? But apparently they don't bite, they only nip.
Great.
But
Shark
so
nip.
obviously the family was well happy with this. Like, what we're doing tomorrow? Swim with sharks. Because I'd had a day at the beach, a day by the pool. I'm just ready for something else. So I thought, right, I'll go sharks. So I had flippers on, I had the mask and the snorkel. And the guy was sat on the side of the boat, like calling in the sharks or the dead fish. So I'm like walking on the boat with these great big flippers, and you've got like a handrail around the boat. All right. Next thing, mateys turned the boat, my flipper's stuck in the rail, and I've just gone straight off the side.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like...
You're in a load of dead fish.
So I'm in dead fish smell and blood, but all the water's hit my mask because I wasn't ready to go in. So I've like put my mask on, and I've looked in, and I can just see all these sharks swimming underneath me. I was like, ah!
What the hell did you do?
The bloke was laughing. He's like, they'll be all right, because they are, aren't they? And he literally just pulled me back out. I was like, so that was a bit of adrenaline.
I was going to say that would have been a ton of adrenaline.
That was adrenaline. So
you survived that. You survived multiple bike race injury crashes.
Yeah, I've done a few bones. Just pretty much anything like on the edge. Just give me something on the edge. That's it. Hardcore edge.
Talking of the edge, let's go to the corner. This is exciting. 512 TR, the flying mirror. I noticed it.
Single mirror.
The single flying mirror.
Yeah.
I noticed it from miles away. Such an odd design.
Do you know the story?
I know a bit about it.
I know a bit of the
It's
story.
some sort of misinterpretation.
I think the old Italians read the rules, and I think it's something along the lines of, you must build a car with a eye-line level single mirror.
Right.
But obviously they meant interior mirror.
Yes.
So the Italian dude's gone, stick a mirror, eye-line level, one mirror. And I think for some reason it got signed off.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many they made, but the first batch, they were single mirror, a single wheel nut, all.
That's right, single wheel bolts.
Yeah.
So this is an early car.
So this is an early car, yeah. Was it Miami Vice car?
This was Miami Vice.
Yeah, so I'm going to get a white linen suit.
Oh.
And then when I get to just got to watch the gravy.
Turquoise loafers or something like that. I can see that.
Drive it to the pub, pick the Sunday lunch up.
See,
I might even take like the briefcase for your shoes.
I've got to say, I think, there they are. I've never seen a luggage set, the original luggage set. The thing about these is, these were actually, they made a lot of, I think they made 10,000. Oh my gosh, there it is.
There's the luggage.
Oh, look at the luggage. All brown, so brown. It does say Testarossa on it.
Yeah.
Oh, made by Shadoni.
Yeah. Proper luggage.
I think they made 10,000 Testarossas, right? Which is a lot.
Yeah.
But they were good.
Good
And
car.
I think they're They're looking better than ever. That flat 12.
Brilliant.
What a motor.
When everyone sees it, they say, no, they're hard work to drive. They are not hard work, they're amazing to drive.
This is what I've heard.
So smooth, the steering's nice, there's nothing hard about that to drive.
Yeah.
You know, it is classic 80s.
Yeah.
You know, just
and
retro.
visibility is probably okay because the pillars are thin.
The one mirror's a bit tough, but
I was reading up last night. It's saying the double mirror came in at the Geneva Motor Show in 1986 after so many complaints.
yeah, I think cyclists.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. And June 1988 they changed the 5-bolt wheel.
Yeah.
So this is an earlier car, and I can tell the lights are different. The indicators are slimmer for European models, and this is up there on the American ones.
Yeah.
Something.
And they didn't have the big bumpers on the American ones as well.
There's a slightly different rear bumper design and that kind of thing, but it's that 4.9.
Honestly, what a lovely...
So you've had this a long time, or?
3 years maybe.
So this is one of your dog gravy run cars.
Yeah, they're all dog gravy run cars.
It's not
Like, they're all dog gravy run cars. Like, there isn't a car in here that I haven't been and fetched gravy in.
It's not what I was expecting you to say in today's filming, dog gravy car. Well, look, I mean, it's glinting in the sun. There is a lot of carbon going on here. The Senna.
They say save the best till last, but yeah, best visual looking car probably in here.
Yeah.
Carbon, because obviously we all love carbon, so it's all carbon.
It really is all carbon.
But
yeah. What do you think?
We'll leave the debate for the cars. But it's probably not the best driver's car in here.
Okay.
It's a track car. It's not nice on the road. And I've got to be careful. I'm on 12 points. And this is definitely a licence loser. Whereas they're a bit more raw and, you know, you're driving. This just wants to basically take you to the moon at 200 mile an hour. And that's what it's all about. And it handles amazing, lightweight. It's just a great showpiece of a car.
Is this your first McLaren?
No. The first McLaren I had was a 600 LT, which we used for the speed trials over the Mountain Mile at the Isle of Man.
Yeah. That's a hell of a car, the LT.
Yeah, good car.
Like it? No?
I liked it. It wasn't fast enough, really.
Wow.
Just struggled, so I went and got 720.
Okay.
It's a long story. I was on 12 points and I got blue lights in the bumper. I opened this scissor door upwards. I already look an idiot. Do you always drive like a twat? And my son goes, yeah, he does.
How does this end up with a Senna?
So I thought, I'll swap that. I'll get rid of it because it's far too fast, the 720.
Yeah.
So I took it into Robert Redline. He says, yeah, I'll sell it for you. No problem, you've lost no, but they've gone up actually. And he goes, do you want another McLaren? I was like, oh, not really. He says, it's an investment, this one. You know, take it as an investment. Don't have to drive it. It's done a little mileage. Just take it as an investment. So I thought, right, I need to go and see. I went up, put my phone on charge in his reception. He was with someone, threw me the keys, got in, started it up, turned it off, thought, that's great, I like it. It's carbon, love carbon. Couldn't get out. Sat in the dealership, 25 minutes. Couldn't find, he just came laughing at me. I couldn't even ring anyone because I'd put my phone on charge. It was like, and I'm just sat in this car, couldn't get out. But there's a little catch above. Just to flick and get out.
It's a gorgeous car. Are you going to use it much?
I want to do a track day in it.
Do you?
Yeah, I've got Donington booked.
Have you?
Yeah,
oh,
friends
wow.
booked Donington.
Donington's not far from my house.
Oh, well, you never know. End of June. He's got 675 LT.
Yeah.
And he's booked us on, but I might take this to a few laps. Trouble is, like, track days, I've got no restriction in my head.
Yeah.
So if I go out pit lane, I'm absolute...
You're on it.
I'm flat. I can't help but... And then you think, do you want to fire this off? I did a track to run the LT and I did a Silverstone track day.
To run it in?
I think that's what they call it. But it was boring.
Yeah.
Like, there's too many tractions. And apparently you can turn it off, but I didn't know how.
Yeah.
So I was just on hands-free at work, just sorting out work, going down Angus Straight, just 180, just chatting away at work.
Oh my gosh.
So they just... But I think this will be a different level.
Yeah.
Like, get it
I love the fact that you actually want to use them.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that restricts you, from what I can tell, is work.
Yeah, time and work and a bit of racing and the kids. But I want to use them all. Like, I don't want to just have cars sat in a garage for no reason. You know, and that's why I'm pretty open. Anyone can actually use them. It's not, you know, I want them to be enjoyed. They're there to be enjoyed. They're there to be used, and they're there
Yeah.
in moderation to have a good time.
And although the Cullinan's probably the best car for dog gravy transportation,
I've tried it.
it's too boring for that.
Boring. It's
So
got a great stereo though, because so noise, stereo really, because you can't go fast anymore.
So audio and or exhaust.
Yeah. Audio exhaust, yeah, and that's got great audio, bespoke audio. You turn it up, put a bit of 90s on, have a beat, get the gravy job done. Perfect. It's a Sunday car.
And that has to conclude this special car cave of Craig's. But does it conclude it though? Because actually coming up very soon, we've got Shakey Byrne, who Craig just mentioned. He's here filming Craig's bike cave, which is somewhere over there. And that will be on a future episode. And if it's already come out by now, I'll put a link above our heads right now. Thanks for watching The Late Break Show. I hope you've really enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for letting me into your proper lair. This is a proper lair.
No problem.
If you want to look at the other car caves, I'll put a playlist link above for the others. Cheers.